Good morning. Friday, April 2nd, 2021. The sun is shining, but the wind's blowing and it's mighty cold here in the DC area. So, not a lot of sleep last night, and that's very typical for many of us who are going through energetic changes and we're aware of it, so we don't fight it, we just accept it. But lots of times during those sleepless nights, we're getting a lot of messages, and they all make perfect sense. And then you forget to write them down, and then you get up and you think, oh my gosh, that was so important, I need to share it like this. And then you're like, what was that again? So I guess I need to have a notebook by my bed and just accept the fact I need to turn the light on and just journal some things down, period. Because it makes sense in what's happening in the immediate moment moving forward, and clears things up what happened some steps or days before. So I was thinking about all these people out here doing their videos and their podcasts, and a lot of following with these types of people. And some of them have some pretty decent information, and some get their information and they'll name dates, or they'll keep people on the edge of, oh no, this is going to happen because this occurred, and then this person's coming back, and this was the whole plan, and such a date, and this is what's going to happen to the finances, and this is what the deep dark agenda is, and this is the intel I have, and so on and so forth. Now, I'd like to believe the majority of these people have excellent intentions, and their messages have been more direct from divine source. However, when you get into dates and certain things that bring up fear-based, or you're looking outside of yourself for their intel because you think yours isn't connected enough, just keep in mind that when we're connected to our source, and we're getting messages from all of our layers of ourselves, because we are a transmitter, getting them from Mother Earth, we're getting them from our guides, we're getting them from the angelic, the galactics, so on and so forth. Remember that there is intentional interference. So as you're sitting there listening to this, there's a loudspeaker over here saying something quite the opposite, and then cutting off every other word, or there's airplane static, noise, chemtrails, stuff that's just so that your direct message becomes a little garbled. And I think a lot of people don't understand that that's what's kind of happening to them. So when they're doing their clairvoyancy or their predictions, or giving their messages, it can be a little interfered with. But my point here is, when you start hinging upon what everybody else is saying, you're following the paradigm of lineages of looking outside yourself. You can't do anything or be anything or know anything because someone else has more information than you do, and you almost fall into a spell. So we're no longer in this so-called dictatorship where we're under the thumb of whoever's king, dictator, or leader, where we now have to believe everything they say and do. If not, then we are renegades and generally put to death for going against them. We're kind of in this little bucking freedom system right now. But the more you focus on, I've got to fight to get away from this, the more you're focused on that timeline of what's happening. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're like, I must resist and I must fight because I've heard that there's going to be these camps, and that this is going to become mandatory, and there's going to be these particular passports, and there's going to be this, and there's going to be that. You're living in that timeline of what all these predictions that are probably not 100% correct. And even if they are, I want you to understand that you, as an individual avatar, soul connected to the all, have the opportunity to soften all of that. But that's not my reality. That's not where I'm going. That's not where I want to see my world. Okay? So you open and break into the freedom of, I could be 10 and 2 anywhere I want to go. I can do anything I want to do. I can be anything I want to be. I can accept any information that I want. But I am in 100% control of what this avatar and soul's journey is. So I strongly suggest empowering yourself a little bit more by just simply asking your software program that you designed before you came into this world and left the so-called owner's manual policies elsewhere, because you vowed that you were going to remember all of it. And here you are looking outside yourself for all the information when you have designed this amazing mega software program. Tap into that DNA software program. I'm awake. I'm ready to learn. I want to remember. I want to remind. I want to release. I want to understand. I want to implement what it is I came here to do. Now, putting that into your spiritual devotion each day, declaring yourself a sovereign, free being who can fully operate and sustain themselves each day moving forward in this lifetime. So igniting that energy body and that physical body and that software program, it'll begin to talk to you. It'll say, you know what? But that person just said doesn't make any sense, doesn't resonate with me. So I'm not going to feed into it because they have all these followers. All right? I'm going to back away. I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to ask myself, me, myself, and I, and all of its beautiful soul family, what's going on here? Let me just turn off all things. Let me just ask my software program. Let me work with my guidance system, because you have your total inner GPS that's there ready to tell you everything. Now, we have free will, we have ego, and sometimes things want to be filtered differently. Patterns come up. They're like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. Nobody else seems to believe what I believe. It doesn't matter what they believe. Do you understand? This is the time for you to stand in your divine footprint. Because trust me, you're not alone. You just might be saying what you believe in to people that just aren't quite there yet. So really, this is a time to have your own comeuppance and be who you designed yourself to be. And in that design means you do not need collaboration and confirmation from anybody else. You just don't. That's the beauty of this independent software system that is fully connected to so many others. It just might be that you're in an environment that isn't on the same vibration that you are. So when you design this software program, you designed when certain things were going to come online and what certain things would spark that coming online. So as you're discussing with your DNA, and you're calling on all of your ancestors, all of your lineage, that means angelic, galactic, human, any place that you've ever been, your soul. Because remember, your soul is only housed in a physical avatar, just like a car needs a driver to take the car on an adventure. The car can't just go on an adventure without a driver. So, car, driver, right? And there's a big difference between a new driver and a seasoned driver, and then an extremely seasoned driver. So understand that just a little bit. Just think about that. exhale on that. The whole key here is keep it spiritually simple. Keep it so that it can be done throughout your day, every day, and that you're always in tune with this original source. The original source. The software program that you designed for your spirit and soul to experience in this lifetime. Now, when you start saying, wake it up, let's do this, let's do that, and you don't get answers, again, remember you've got this filtering system that sort of wants to semi-sabotage you because of old habits and stuff like that. So you got to cancel, alt, delete, bring in new thoughts, wake things up, and work with maybe how you feel. Do you feel elevated by what it is that you're doing at this moment? Do you feel dense and heavy? Now, that's very different than being grounded, right? You designed when your spark comes in. So when things don't occur in the order in which you think this wants it to do, remember this needs to turn it off. Right there. Be right there. Be right there, fully present in your body in each and every loving moment. And know that you are connected to every plant, every tree, every blade of grass, every person. What you get irritated in another person is somewhere in here. And you just recognize it. But your response might be a pissy one, and it might be a loving one. It just really depends. Either way, you practice, I'm sorry, I forgive myself for that judgment. I love myself. I love the other person. Let it go. Boom, dissolve, let it go. So let all these memories come up. Work with your DNA, your soul family. Don't beat up all your messengers because you designed them, okay? Just accept that fact that you designed this. And how do you maneuver to get through the rocky, bumpy roads to smoother paths, so smoother terrain. And maybe you wouldn't have gotten to the smoother terrain without going through all the bumpy, nasty paths that just remind you. So, declaring that you're ready is important. Spirit, I'm ready. I'm ready for my software. Come online. Calling in all my ancestors. Blah, blah, whoa. You can say whatever you want to say. I'll say things like, divine creator of the universe, and creator of all. Hey, I came in to be of service. Let's work with that today. And each day, something else will ignite and come up and surface. And again, if it doesn't serve you, windshield wiper, boom, reprogram it, feel the feelings, ignite the DNA, bring in the energy breath, because your breath is your free energy. Expand those lungs, just get things moving and grooving, Clean out the car by vacuuming it and giving it high fuel and better oil, and clean the windows and all those things so that your adventure can take in everything and not be all muddied up or dirty from other travels. So that's super important to understand that they both go hand in hand. They both go hand in hand. So set yourself up for, you're devoting for your spiritual self. Journal more, rest more, high vibrational foods more. As much time in nature as you can possibly get. As much time in nature. Away from as many electrical outlets, meaning towers, poles, people, phones, computers, lights, fluorescents, just stuff. If you can get out on a hike somewhere, just be. And if you're going with another person, then both of you need to honor maybe that peaceful time and not be chitter-chattering about what went on this morning and what went on yesterday. Because remember, that's just that repeat cycle. So how do you be in the present moment and just be in the vibration of the energy bath of nature and be in the presence of someone you like to hang out with and still honor that spiritual time. Like, hey, let you go ahead over on that path. I'm going to go over on this path, and we'll meet back here in about 30 minutes. I just want to sit on a rock, lean up against a tree, just not talk, just tune it all in, really feel the heartbeat, feel the lungs, feel the breath, feel the vibrations, feel the different frequencies. Just embrace all of that. So my goal is always about empowering you to know that you're enough. I'm enough. You're enough. Together, we make change. No one else holds the power over us. We don't live in those timelines. We don't devote a lot of energy to that. We don't get pissy with those who are. We just soar right on by them because they'll be catching up at some point. And hey, we didn't write their software program, so we have no reason to judge. Stay in your lane. Be on your path. Be the communicator for the divine source through your own software program. I think you'll find some happiness and joy to be like, ooh, I was a pretty good programmer before I came down here. I had no idea. I ask myself that because I can't work my computer to save my life. I really just need assistance. I'm kinesthetic. I learn through fingers, which is why I became a massage therapist, Reiki, all kinds of things, because I communicate through feeling all of that. So it's easier for me if somebody sits next to me and says, okay, next, and I kinesthetically do it a few times, like, I got this. Some people are better at reading a book and instructions and have no one talk to them. So however your style is, be your style, because that's the fuel, the spirit fuel of the soul. Go for it. Be on your different timeline. Don't worry about those who haven't caught up. There's no race here. There really isn't. The only thing is you got to be true to you. Get to this original source. Yeah, get in there. It will consume you in such a beautiful way. So much love and light to each and every one of you. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit all where the like is, or like it, then hit all, the bell. I love nice messages. I really do. And enjoy your happy Friday. And until the next video,